Utter garbage. A complete letdown after the masterpiece that was Garfield 2004 live-action movie featuring Bill Murray as titular character Garfield. This movie should not be canon in the Garfield universe, of which I am an avid fan. I would give 0 stars if possible.
God, I wish they shot Garfield out of a cannon.
Welcome to Rough Cuts.
Dogs, they're coming. They're coming your way. They'll be here soon.
This summer, the world's biggest star is back. And he's bigger than ever.
I got a pie belch coming that might break your windows.
Garfield 2.
Stretch of steel. Somebody take my temperature.
That was from June 3rd, 2020, by the way.
That's new. That's new.
Whoa.
Yep.
I didn't realize that.
I just saw that. It's like, wow.
Holy shit, that rules. That's even better than I realized. That review is perfect.
Imagine being that worried about Garf canon in 2020.
Imagine the original Garfield is so much better than this movie.
Yes.
As a fan, you're upset that this movie came out.
The other complete bomb Garfield movie is better? No.
Did the first one bomb or did it do well?
They both bombed.
It bombed.
Why did they make a sequel?
or at least it bombed critically. At least we'll put it that way.
My question was, it wasn't critically. It's like, did it do well in the box office?
Well, this one did well at the box office.
It did?
Yes, it made 145 million on a budget of 60. So,
why?
Cause it's Garfield.
Why has anyone cared about Garfield since Garfield and Friends went off the air?
That's a wonderful question. I'm worried about going back though and looking at like Garfield and Friends and realizing that it was all horrible garbage.
Well, I've watched it as an older person, and it's, for a kid show of the time, it's still not that bad. I mean, it's not like transcendent, but it's all right.
Sure.
Well, see, when you get syndication, you can stop caring.
Yes.
See, I very specifically have avoided looking at anything Garfield and Friends because I'm like, I do not need my childhood ruined by realizing how bad Garfield and Friends actually is. Because if any other Garfield media is indication, Garfield and Friends has got to be just bottom of the barrel.
Nah, it's not that bad. Your childhood is relatively safe.
Whew.
Mainly due to the fact that the voice of Garfield was Lorenzo Music, and Lorenzo Music knew how to voice a goddamn cat.
True.
When a cat tells you did all right, listen, they know.
Also, what about the gummy bears? Though.
Right.
Hi, I'm Tummy Gummy. You watch these exciting scenes from today's show while I go get a snack.
Gotta make sure that everything's intact.
Well,
God,
I'm
just trying to avoid talking about this film. I know that we do that bit all the time, but it's not a bit because I don't want to talk about this movie.
It's not. I mentioned Lorenzo Music. Can I quick do the Lorenzo Music Bill Murray conspiracy thing?
Yes, please.
Wait,
yes.
what? Is there a Bill Murray Lorenzo Music conspiracy?
It's sort of. It's relatively well known among people who know way too much about 80s voice actors like I do. But, so, as you're aware, Bill Murray, most famous for his role as Peter Venkman in Ghostbusters, yes?
Never heard of him.
Exactly.
What?
He played Peter Venkman in Ghostbusters.
Right?
Yeah, in Garfield. He played Peter Venkman in Garfield.
Yeah, okay.
That's right, boys. It's Dr. Venkman.
So, there was also the cartoon, The Real Ghostbusters, if you recall. Now, if you recall, the voice of Peter Venkman in that was Lorenzo Music.
Yes.
Who would also go on to voice Garfield and Garfield and Friends. And thus, Bill Murray has completed the cycle.
Okay, that's not a conspiracy, though.
Oh, it's more of a conspiracy than you know.
Oh, it is a conspiracy, yeah. Yep.
Peter, what are you doing?
Not to worry, Egon. Everything's under control. I've reversed the polarity on the stream.
Reverse the polarity?
As you can tell, my orange cat is very, very angry about the slanderous portrayal of his kind in this movie.
Same. Gwen has been meowing up a storm.
Does it turn? Hey, is there like a frequency that Garfield emits as a movie?
There
that,
might be. That
fucking destroys
Wait,
cats?
is that the conspiracy?
Maybe that's what their truth. It's out there.
Oh my god! I mean, when you think about it, people that are like super into Garfield definitely do some crazy things. Have you heard about the Garfield cruise? The 2003
Okay, I need you all to be quiet for just a moment because I have a thing for this.
Okay.
There you go. Just
Perfect.
continue.
Thank you.
Perfect.
We needed it.
In 2003, on the 25th anniversary of Garfield, hundreds of people spent thousands of dollars each to join a week-long cruise devoted to Garfield.
Oh yeah, no, the Garfield
where they
fan bases.
They not only did like really stupid scavenger hunts in Key West, Florida, as part of their cruise, but they also had auctions where they spent $140 on $100 gift cards.
I see.
Yeah.
And they had a 400 grown adult Garfield pajama party.
I have a question.
Yeah.
How is Garfield able to inspire like anywhere near that level of devotion from anyone?
I don't
Okay,
know.
I have a quick aside here too. You're saying that there's adults that were in a Garfield pajama party.
Yes.
Boy, that's just called yiffing.
Yes, that's also
Yeah,
true.
okay, yeah, that's fair. Does Garfield
Actually,
gif?
you know what? No, no,
Wait a minute.
no. Actually, no. I'm gonna stand up for the furry community here and say no. That is not the same.
Are there Garfsonas? Oh shit, I'm looking up Garfsona. No, incognito
There's
tab.
definitely Garfsonas.
I'm incognito tab looking up Garfsona. I don't want that.
Coward. I'm looking it up normally, and oh my god, there are, and oh my god, they're terrifying.
Wait,
I'm
this can't
I'm
be
posting
right.
one.
Oh my
eaten
god.
every- I've eaten everything, John.
Oh my god.
Show you my Garfsonas.
This one has a neck beard. What the fuck?
This is the most Garfsona I've ever seen. It's wearing a shirt that says, "I'm not fat, I'm Undertale."
This
Wait,
one's wearing underpants that just say propaganda.
The Garfsona universe is extremely disturbing, my friend.
What is this? I
There's
did
a-
not think we were
Fat,
going here.
I'm Undertale?
This is the deepest,
What?
darkest hole I've ever seen on the internet, and it's a lot.
Oh shit, my phone just burst into flames. Fucking what?
Get the holy water, quick!
Oh, Jesus.
I will be, in fact, posting these on our Twitter. Follow us
No!
at RoughCutsCast on Twitter.
Oh no!
Stop that right
Don't
now.
do it.
No. Okay.
Oh god, this one screams slurs at you from its YouTube video.
Oh god, why? Wait, does it? I need to scroll down. Oh yeah, that one totally.
Yeah.
does.
It totally does. That one has an alt-right YouTube channel that it screams slurs at you in.
Yeah,
it
definitely.
does. Yeah.
It's got the eyebrows for it for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, so back to Garfield.
So about Garfield, Garfield also inspired a restaurant called Garf Eats, which was delivered by Uber Eats. And you could get Garfield head-shaped pizza that looked fucking disgusting. by a failed fashion model. Male fashion model who constantly shows his chest to everyone.
Was that actually a thing?
Yeah, I posted his picture earlier.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
That's the owner
picture?
of Garfield Eats.
Oh.
It's a strange blending of worlds there, honestly.
Yeah. That place no longer in business due to COVID. Rest its soul.
Oh, it's due to the COVID, you say?
Yeah. Well,
couldn't be for any other reason.
Couldn't be any other reason.
It opened up extra chains because it was doing so well, and then COVID hit, and most restaurants have been having
You know what?
trouble.
You're telling me this, but my brain, I'm refusing to believe it. I'm just not. I'm sorry. You're a terrible liar. At least that's what I'm telling myself.
Hello, I'm Jim Davis, and this is my cat, Garfield.
Hi, I'm Garfield, and this is my cartoonist, Jim Davis.
Well, Garfield came along and defended our right to eat lasagna, skip the gym, and sleep until noon. In a sense, he was a rebel. Which brings us to Nathan Masry, another rebel, and co-founder of a new food experience that Garfield would love. Garfield Eats.
What, do you not want a carnivore pizza? I don't understand.
A Garnivore was my favorite.
So, anyways,
Roger
back
Corman
to this movie.
No, wait, did they have a lasagna pizza? I need to know.
Of course they did. They had to have.
Did they?
How could they
I
not?
feel like we're never getting on track for this movie.
I mean, what is there to say about this movie, honestly?
Oh, yeah, they have a big button that says order lasagna at the top.
Yeah, there you go.
I can I say that this movie has destroyed the reputations of like 3 or 4 of some of my favorite actors of all time?
Well, it's okay. Billy Connolly can just say, nope, that was John Cleese, wasn't me.
Yeah, it was John Cleese in this film, yeah.
What can Tim Curry say, though? Because that's the most Tim Curry that Tim Curry has ever been.
Tim Curry gets a pass.
Can Tim Curry sue Billy Connolly for slander? I think so, right?
Possibly.
It feels like it.
I feel like, also, if we're going to talk about conspiracy theories as far as actors and stuff go, I'm going to put up a new conspiracy theory here about Bill Murray, in that this is the Bill Murray that's from Osmosis Jones, and not the Bill Murray that's from, like, say, Groundhog Day or Lost in Translation, or, you know.
Yeah, no, that's accurate.
Oh,
yeah.
Unless Bill Murray woke up one day during Groundhog's Day and he was just in Garfield. Right? That was his day?
Well, if you recall, there was that one scene where it clearly wasn't audio they recorded for the film. It was just audio of him trying to negotiate his contract.
Oh, yes!
Thank Christ. Hold up. At long last.
Oh my god!
It's afternoon. I'm allowed now.
It's okay, 12 o'clock local time? Alright.
Oh, local time, it's 12:01, baby! I've needed this for 2 hours.
Yeah, I was about to say. I mean, we started this at 12 my time, so I don't drink though, unfortunately.
Lucky.
So anyway, the movie starts off with John proposing to Garfield because he wants to. I mean, this director also did the Alvin movies, I think.
Let me sleep, please.
Oh God!
Before I met you.
Which they also managed to trick David Cross, and well, they just paid him enough, I'm sure. But what was David Cross doing in the Chipmunks movies?
I guess what I'm trying to say is
David Cross just does whatever.
will you marry me?
David Cross is like that.
Marriage?
What?
Well, this is kind of sudden.
What?
There may be some legal issues. Look, I like
What's going on here?
Spouse. Maybe as a servant, we could stay together, make it work.
Does he understand Garfield?
No.
Wait a second, Liz?
Okay.
Liz? Garfield?
What? I don't.
So Garfield.
No, worse.
Wait, Garfield wants to marry John? Like what?
Yes, it is Garfield.
What?
What?
You're
Because
not
he wants.
wrong.
Oh God! No, it's okay. Listen, this is an entirely unfair characterization
Actually,
of John
wait.
Arbuckle. It's Garfield that wants to fuck John.
Yeah, that's true.
Also, that's not what the movie started with. The movie started with Garfield being portrayed as a murderer throughout fairy tale history.
Oh yeah, he's killing all the fairy tale creatures and people.
For some reason, despite the fact this movie has nothing to do with fairy tales.
Oh look,
God,
it's
look at
Garfield
that.
literally
God, he looks
murdering
terrifying.
Fairy tale creatures. Wow.
Why is?
Well, he's just stealing from little. Oh, now he's murdering
No,
again.
he's
Okay.
eating
Wait, is
the
this
blood
about?
mice.
Hold on. Is this a fairy tale movie? I thought this was.
I don't think so.
No, I just think.
Yeah.
Oh, Billy Connolly, it's top billing. Nice.
Hold on. Do they feel that England is a place of fairy tales? Do they
Yes.
believe that England is the land of the Fae?
Yes.
Yes,
That was
they
going
do.
on.
They
Oh,
do.
okay. Fair enough. I mean, it is, right? That's not true. It has England in it. The land of the Fae folk.
That's true. I even did a bingo. There's so much
Yeah.
England.
Like stone drapes.
Like stone drapes all over the walls. Just Stonehenge.
To clarify, Boyks thought that Stonehenge was giant drapes, so at the end of the movie when he was showing off his bingo card and we saw Stonehenge, we went, was there Stonehenge in that? And he goes, no, those are drapes. To which we had to explain to Boyks that no, that there exists in England a large stone monolith.
Wait, really?
On the Salisbury Plains. I see that you marked off. Was Stonehenge in the movie? I don't remember.
Is that Stonehenge?
Yeah, in the bottom left, like.
Oh, I thought that was curtains.
No, that's Stonehenge.
Oh yeah.
Like, why is Stonehenge marked off? They never went to Salisbury Plain in the movie.
It's great, you know, the drapes, the British. The grapes.
Yes,
yeah.
British.
We don't have grapes in America.
Can we just do the podcast about that?
You're keeping this in. I'm not editing this one. If you don't keep it in, I'm fucking getting you. I edited half of these. I'll get you eventually.
Look, I don't know what the fuck it was. It just looked like some curtains. I'm like, yeah, there's curtains in the
I'm sorry, but I looked at that and the only thing that pops into mind is, oh, that's Stonehenge.
Yeah, no, the stereotypically British thing. Drapes.
Oh, Lord. Oh, my.
Okay. All right. All right. God damn it. They don't just put the... I thought that was just like something they sold for your house. You put it in.
You'll have to tweet out the bingo card, too.
Oh, my God.
I feel that's an important part of this episode.
This movie did almost get a blackout on my bingo, though. Oh, are you also eating snacks?
No. I'm now shaking my cocktail.
Oh my Lord.
I haven't been able to slam it yet. Just give me a moment. I'm ready.
Well, while we're waiting for speaking of alcohol, remember this film did feature apparently drug use and sexuality.
Oh yeah, it opened up PG because of drug use, sexuality,
violence,
violence and language or something.
I don't know.
Language.
Just sexuality and drug use is what jumped out at me.
I feel like that was false advertising.
Yeah, like there was a reference to like Garfield hitting the catnip, I think. Does that count?
Well, there was also the slight bit about the British people huffing paint, apparently.
Yeah,
there was that, I guess. But where was the
Which I guess is a common pastime among British lords. I don't know Britain any more than Boyce does, apparently.
It would not surprise me, honestly, knowing the British royal family.
I feel like I should be offended for British people for this film.
You should.
It's offensive. It's like mildly offensive, but like it assumes all British people are rich, pompous, like living in castles, and like they all talk like pip pip cheerio, except for the Scottish duck. What was it? It was a Scottish rabbit.
No, it was a Scottish rabbit.
It was Mick Bunny.
Yeah, Mick Bunny, which again should have been Mac Bunny, but you know, whatever.
Yes, yeah.
What the hell?
And the only actual Scottish person in the film that I'm aware of was doing his best to cover that up.
Yeah, he was trying to be British as fuck. And it's
he was doing his John Cleese impression.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good John Cleese impression.
Yeah?
Like, Boyks thought that was John Cleese for a while.
Oh, dear. You mean our little orange bundle of fun is missing? Paul!
Okay. It's actually pretty good. Yeah, when is he going to enter this movie? Oh, he's here! Oh!
Honestly, it took me a moment to actually recognize that was Billy Connolly and not John Cleese, too. I was like, wait, did John Cleese also do a cameo in this?
Because Billy Connolly with short hair is just, I don't know how to handle that.
Yeah.
He's apparently just John Cleese. Maybe that's our third conspiracy. Maybe is Billy Connolly the same person as John Cleese?
Oh, I hope not.
I was going to say, yeah, actually, now that I say that, I'm like, that's really disappointing because Billy Connolly at least seems like a decent human.
I can't believe Billy Connolly is a hack fraud.
I mean, being in Garfield: A Tale of Two Kitties does immediately give you hack fraud points. I'm sorry.
I do like
It is, yeah.
I do like the part of the movie where Tim Curry
Except for Odie.
was
Odie is
the
not a hack
evil-
fraud.
No.
Oh, that's true. Odie's great. But the part of the movie where Tim Curry was the evil bad guy who turned all of the cartoon creatures into evil versions of themselves, while the cute king was trying to turn them all into cute versions of themselves, as our main character Doc Brown and his cartoon sidekick try to fuck, that's Toonstruck. I confused it with the video game Toonstruck.
That'll happen.
Yeah.
We've gone 17 and a half minutes thus far without really delving into this movie at all.
Does anybody even
It's almost
wanna
like the
know about
movie.
Garfield? Like, come on.
It's almost like the experience of watching this, where, as I remember at one point, I said, holy shit, does anybody realize that the prince, Garfield's doppelganger, rich royalty friend, I'm like, is a way more interesting character than Garfield? And to which you immediately responded, yes, that's why he's been in much less of this film.
Yeah, because he's more interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. Anything interesting couldn't actually be featured mainly in this film.
This movie constantly set up interesting points and then immediately threw them away. Like, every time. Every fucking time.
Sorry. Excuse me, sorry. Say that again? When did this movie bring up anything interesting?
Well, it's like, let's introduce a dog that's going to chase Garfield and attack him, and Garfield's going to have to try and get out of the way. Oh, the dog just, like...
Oh, what was that dog's name again, actually?
I was just going to say, can you clarify? Boix, you open this can of worms. Hey, Boix, would you tell us what this British dog's name is?
Yeah, it was Goebbels.
It's not Goebbels.
Goebbels. It's Rommel. Yeah. Why would they name it after a Nazi? What are
See,
they
the thing
doing?
is, you're joking about Goebbels, but I'm like, that's basically the joke.
whatever.
Yep, that's what they went for.
Meow. Agreed.
Garfield, find your Nazi jokes here.
Like
Nazi jokes.
Yeah, there was if I may, there was a pit bull named Winston Churchill living in the same house as was it a Doberman? Not a Doberman, a Rottweiler? I don't know exactly.
It was like a Rottweiler or a Pinscher or something, yeah.
Yeah, it was a Rottweiler.
So there was a Rottweiler named Rommel and a bulldog named Winston. Like,
they also never did anything with that. They just knew the names and they never actually played on it at all.
No, you could have had something there, but I guess that would require having something.
Mm-hmm. So Garfield and friends, Rommel, Goebbels, Himmler.
Yeah, Hitler. God, if this movie had like a Hitler rat or something, like too, I wouldn't have doubted it. To be honest, if you told me.
No.
I'm looking at my notes here for anything else. I remember when British Kevin James showed up. That was neat.
Oh yeah,
right. Yeah, he was a British Kevin James
in one scene. Well, at least they kept the London montage mercifully short.
How do I look?
What?
Lovely, sir? No, see, I'm proposing to my girl.
Is this the British Kevin James?
Oh
yes,
God, no!
It might
Oh
be.
no!
Do you see it?
I see it now. Yes. Oh fuck!
May I, sir?
He showed up on a Segway, like in his mall cop outfit.
He was a bellhop, I believe.
Yeah. He came in as a bellhop, like, but wearing like a little badge, like he was bellhop security on his Segway.
Yeah.
And then he ate a really moldy banana for some reason, and then just exited the film.
And gave John a rose.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He did just give John a. Wasn't that a carnate? Was it a rose? Oh no,
I
there was
don't
roses
know.
and carnations
Yeah.
or something. Yeah.
So yeah, British Kevin James. British Kevin James.
That man was incredibly British, Kevin James.
That's true. There was that one scene where they taught the dog to bite fake John Cleese's dick. That was a good scene.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I wrote down a note for Upside Down Odie, because Odie was upside down at one point.
Oh, that's a good note.
Looking for belly rubs.
Odie was really cute.
I've got another really good note here that we can work with. The Wolverine Jean Grey picture, Energy Butler.
Yes.
Holy shit. That man played Alfred in a few animated series too, by the way.
Doesn't surprise me. But yeah, there's literally a scene where
He has
the
huge
butler of
energy.
the butler of the cat, because the Tim Curry character is like a lord, so he just a quick the movie starts with like a lord dying and leaving everything he has to his cat Prince. So the cat is
Don't
now
talk about the movie.
I figured someone had to at some point.
God damn it.
Fine, go ahead.
So he inherits the estate, but of course Billy Connolly, the evil, I don't know what relation he had to the family even. Was he like a brother or something? I don't know.
They said that it was like the uncle died, so he was like the nephew of the...
Or it doesn't matter.
Nephew, cousin, something like
Evil
that.
family member is like, well, if the cat dies, I get everything. So there's your plot. Literally, that's the entire plot. Oh, and also the Garfield and Prince switch. That's it. That's literally it. But anyway, Butler has a picture of Prince the cat, and if you've ever seen the Wolverine Jean Grey meme, it is exactly that.
Like he's looking longingly at it,
putting his hand on it just
a couple times.
Yeah. Oh.
Sniffs it a bit. Yes, a big emotional moment.
This is the part of the film where Garfield gets really drunk and vomits in an alley.
Severe Wolverine with Jean Grey picture energy there.
Yeah. Yeah. Touching the...
Fuck.
So Garfield wants to fuck John. That Butler, well,
yes. Yeah, that's true. That's true. There's parallels. It's like poetry. It rhymes.
Again, it's like poetry. So if they rhyme, every stanza kind of rhymes with the last one.
Right. Thank you, George Lucas.
Oh no,
Garfield, Darfield.
Yeah, that's the new character in The Mandalorian.
Garfield drinking a 40 in a death basket.
Yes,
now
that's
that we've-
also in The Mandalorian.
We've literally talked about the entire plot now. So let's see.
Yeah.
Well, yes.
Yeah.
There isn't.
There's nothing
through
else.
my notes, and that is in fact everything. Yeah. Garfield and him switch places, and
this is a film where you root for the bad guy to just end the film. Just end.
Oh yeah,
He almost did that crossbow, but
that was one of the only good moments in this film. Is when fucking Billy Connolly finally gets fed up and just picks up a crossbow and tries to shoot everybody.
That wasn't even in the script.
No, yeah, he just does it.
He just wanted to get out of the movie, and he was threatening the other actors with a crossbow that he brought on set. It wasn't there.
they managed to get it away from him, so he had to pick up that blunderbuss that clearly was not loaded, nor was it working. And everyone was terrified of it.
Mounted. Like, he picked it up and it was still in the case.
Yes!
And everybody was like, oh my god, he's got a gun.
He's got a gun.
Honestly, I think that might have been the most nonsensical moment of the film for me.
Yeah, they were like,
yeah.
A monkey. What? He's got a gun. Blam, blam.
Let's see. Oh, we had the worst taunting of a Buckingham Palace guard ever captured on screen.
Oh, yes. That was really depressing.
Wasn't Buckingham. Wherever the guards are with the... I don't remember these things. I'm not British enough for that.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, they're going to do this bit.
They won't crack up no matter what you do. Hey, freeze frame. Your knee's on fire. I know I can get this guy. No, seriously. Your zipper's down. Hey, dry goods. Yeah. Anybody ever tell you look like Tina Turner?
Why is he twerking?
They didn't
the guards
they wanted it to be Buckingham Palace, but they couldn't get the right to film near Buckingham Palace because they went for which movie? and
exactly.
It fell apart.
But they did have enough money to get a corgi that looks like the Queen's corgi to drive by.
That's true. Those corgis were very good.
Yeah, they didn't get much else, but
it's a good source. You can get them for too long. So
I hate to say this because it outs me as a Garf lover, a Garf knower. I know the forbidden Garf knowledge. But,
I'm with you. Don't worry.
What's the Garf canon?
This has by far the worst take on Liz and John Arbuckle ever, right?
Yes.
John doesn't even drink a single glass of dog semen.
Right? Like, I needed it. And when it said sexuality, I was like, oh yeah, they're going to get to the dog semen, finally. Somebody who's willing to go into the real Garfield lore. And then they don't even let him drink the dog semen from Liz.
Nothing.
Nothing.
We get nothing.
None of it.
We lose. Good day, sir.
To build off that, looking at my notes, I multiple times, without realizing, wrote down question marks, Liz likes John, or no, John cannot get married, or why does Liz want to fuck John?
So, okay, here's the picturesque version of John Arbuckle, as everybody knows him. Handsome, daring, 5 o'clock, stop yelling, 5 o'clock shadow, romantic, a dreamboat.
Stalker.
Stalker.
Yes, stalker.
We haven't talked about that, have we?
That's what I was going to say. I really want to mention that the reason it's so fucking wrong, it's so creepy and horrible, and they gloss over it instantly. John is deciding whether or not he wants to ask Liz to marry him. He's trying to build up courage for it.
Mm-hmm.
And then she goes, oh, well, and like, they're not even dating, it doesn't seem necessarily. Like, they haven't really established any relationship between them yet. And
might have been in the
she
first
goes,
movie.
okay, well, I'll see you in a little while. I'm going over to Europe. And so he, like, gets a flight to follow her and stalk her. And when she first sees him, she goes, oh my God, you came. And it's like, no.
Oh my God, what are you doing here?
There's one, okay, listen, Jennifer Love Hewitt, you read that wrong. Take it again, because what it should be is not, oh God, you came, but, oh God, you came? There's 2 readings of that line. She read the wrong way.
And John Arbuckle was only ever heard the second, if you know what I'm talking about. Yes, that's the correct response. Yeah, drink that cocktail. That's true. That's correct.
So on to other upsetting things. Do you remember when they did a cover of the Jeffersons theme song, but this time about having lots of servants at your beck and call?
No.
Oh God.
No.
Servants all doing my will. I got me a life without hassle. Sir Garfield is the king of the hill.
Yeah, you remember how the Jeffersons was about being rich and,
and having lots of servants? Yeah.
Yeah.
Not tone deaf at all. Jefferson's theme song cover. Want to introduce you to Rommel the dog? You'll get along well.
Can we talk about the beginning of this movie where it starts out telling like, oh, out in the British countryside lives a cat that is pampered beyond all compare, and it's doing this whole thing about how pampered it is, and it's like, your tea, sir, and he's getting like his pillows fluffed and tea brought to him in bread, and then
palace.
It goes, and an equally pampered cat living in Middle America. This tiny house on a shitty old like grandma's armchair
on a
equally
cul-de-sac
pampered.
They're
like,
just
boy, doesn't that
equal.
just play into like the American sensibility of like, no. See, you're as well off as British royalty.
They really wanted to like really push that cat of the cul-de-sac thing. Like that was a multiple thing. Multiple time thing.
I don't really get it.
12 different times. So it was like the cat of the castle and the cat of the cul-de-sac, which made him a king?
I guess.
Yeah.
I feel that was just an attempt to market a phrase, because this is Garfield and everything is marketing.
Sure. This is an incredibly American film, though, because it feels very much of like the temporary embarrassed millionaires trope. Like, that Americans view themselves not as poor, but as temporarily embarrassed millionaires. Like,
yeah,
there's no way that John is like, John's living in just like a very middle class house. He's not in some fucking mansion that they can call us equally pampered.
Oh, I was gonna say, you remember the scene in the film where they decided to explain the plot?
No.
Yes, I do remember that.
Yeah, because
I
like
remember
Garfield
that very
just
well.
did a speech where he explained the plot, to the other characters in the film of what had already happened.
Yes.
And what is going to happen. And they just straight up they couldn't figure out how to write it, so they're just like, he says the plot. He says the plot, that the plot happens.
As every creative writing teacher will tell you, tell, don't show.
Yeah. Yeah.
What you want to do is every time during the second act of a movie, you need to have one character turn towards the camera, look directly into the audience eyes and go, okay, I know you're all too stupid to have understood this so far, so here's what's happened.
Yes!
And recap it all. To be fair, in this film, they probably assume that, like me, it's afternoon and you are about to get blitzed because you've watched the first half of this movie. In which case, well done. I would appreciate that. Recapping this is probably the best way to do it.
Well, given how well you said this movie did, honestly, yeah, I can see why they would have to do this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oof.
Yeah.
I have a note here that I'm trying to remember the context of. Garfield responsible for Fear Factor?
Oh, no, I know. Yeah, no. It's Garfield responsible for the death of Fear Factor.
Death of Fear Factor.
Therefore, the birth of the Joe Rogan experience.
Oh, that's, I meant responsible for Joe Rogan experience. I just wrote down Fear Factor because my brain was melting.
No. They reference, this movie came out in 2006, which is the exact year that Fear Factor died, and also has a couple of Fear Factor references inside of it, and my theory is that they absolutely murdered Fear Factor to make way for the Joe Rogan experience. Thank you, Garfield, Tale of Two Kitties. You can thank Joe Rogan experience for, you can thank it for the Joe Rogan experience.
Yeah.
This movie has spawned more crimes than we can count, is what I'm saying.
To be fair, that last Garf Sona that you put on there looks like someone who listened to the Joe Rogan
that's someone that's been on the Joe Rogan experience as a regular, correct.
No, yeah, that is a Joe Rogan Garf Sona. Yes, actually.
You can tell by the flowing hair.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this movie thinks that John Arbuckle was an action hero who's the... not an action hero, but like the hero of the story, the person who punches the villain and saves the world and gets the girl. He's literally like, he's like the diehard protagonist.
Yeah, no, he's suave action man.
He's like Mission Impossible guy. Like, how did they?
Well, and it's played by Breckin Mayer, who is, like, I wouldn't say a good actor or anything, but he's like your typical Hollywood guy. Like, he's a really good looking, kind of suave dude. So it's like, yeah, this super doesn't fit John Arbuckle. Like, you need a tall, thin Danny DeVito for John Arbuckle. That's what you need.
Yeah.
But the problem is that does not test well with the focus groups.
No, yeah, that's true. Money is important.
Okay, now I'm just imagining, like, if this movie was 30 years earlier, we could have had Tim Curry, we could have had Billy Connolly, we could have had, like, Bill Murray, and we could have instead cast Christopher Lloyd as John Arbuckle, and it would have all made sense. It would have been great.
Wait, no, that follows back to my Toonstruck comment. Because Christopher Lloyd is in Toonstruck with Tim Curry. It could have been that.
The only issue, you said 30 years ago? Even 30 years ago, Christopher Lloyd looked kind of old. I don't know if
I would have had him in more like 45. Christopher Lloyd didn't look young after 20.
Christopher Lloyd's never looked young in his whole life.
No.
You might have to pick someone else, but although I don't know if I want any of those actors at like the top of their game having to take some time to do fucking Garfield.
Yeah.
I feel like they could have made it Clue, though, is what I'm thinking.
They just made Clue, though. So
true. Yeah, we don't have to live in that. We don't have to live in a fantasy world. They did make Clue. Fair. Okay,
no Bill Murray, but that's fine. Bill Murray doesn't need to be in everything.
No.
This movie has a really interesting soundtrack.
I say
interesting, but I don't mean it.
You mean the Black Eyed Peas is what you mean.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, if I think about Garfield or a comic strip movie, a cartoon, like, I'm not thinking dance sequences with CGI Garfield to Black Eyed Peas at all. Why would I think that? Why would I think that there would be an extended kitchen ratatouille scene of them cooking lasagna to black-eyed peas.
Because
of
it's
all
2006.
fucking things.
It's 2006, Boykes.
Yeah, I was at this point, like you're describing something that I would have actually had on a bingo card. If we had made bingo cards for this movie, I probably would have put a Ratatouille.
Yeah, and you know what you
montage.
would have missed? You would have missed Stonehenge curtains.
Yes, I would have missed that.
Yeah.
Most would have. Most would have, boys.
I did pick up some deep extra Garfield lore from this film, though.
Oh,
in a literal throwaway line for Bill Murray, who just wanted this goddamn project to end. He asked the farm animals to not call him Garfield, but instead to call him G-Cat, because he's a party animal.
that sure did happen. By the way, anyone out there?
That? I missed that.
He said
He did.
G-Cat. Call me the G-Cat. I'm a party animal.
That did happen.
Huh. I saw the party animal. I missed the G-Cat.
It's my favorite Half-Life character. But anyway,
Yes.
is Garfield ever...
Mr. Nermal?
Mr. Arbuckle?
So wake up, Mr. Freeman. Wake up and smell the ashes.
But yeah, we were talking about in the film. Has Garfield ever been like, quote unquote, a party animal?
No.
He's just a lazy ass cat that's trying to eat lasagna all day. He doesn't do shit.
He's not, according to this film. The very first scene, we knew immediately that this was fucked. Because Garfield pulls himself in through the cat door of the house when it's doing like the little montage thing about saying how pampered he is. He goes in through the little cat door, immediately does a somersault and like a bunch of breakdancing moves and like flips onto the couch, which...
He literally did like my parkour training routine, and it's like,
yeah,
come on now.
He's a lazy cat that hates Mondays and loves lasagna.
Wait, this is... Shut up. You just wrote a really good script. I think we can make a Garfield 3. Oh. What did you say? I didn't write that down. He's lazy, hates Mondays, and loves lasagna? Okay, let me write this. I think we got a script here. There's a story.
They had literally... Okay, so they put lasagna in this movie a half dozen times, more than half dozen times.
Because they ran out of ideas, and that's all they know about Garfield, yes.
Oh, I know.
To be fair,
okay, but
that
that's
is
what I'm
pretty
saying.
on brand.
Yeah,
sure. No. That's what I'm saying. I get that. But I'm saying, like, they kept on referencing the lasagna. They had one tiny throwaway scene where he goes, I don't like Mondays. There are no things called Mondays anymore. Right? Like,
yeah.
They knew one thing about Garfield. Like, I'm pretty sure that somebody threw the script at threw Garfield lore at someone, like, made a big document that said, this is what Garfield is. And they read the first line that said Garfield likes lasagna and then tossed it in the fucking trash.
What about the Klopman Diamond? Why can't he be searching for the Klopman Diamond? That's a deep cut for you Garf nerds out there.
Garf nerds, right. I mean, can you expect more from the screenwriter of Daddy Daycare?
Also, is that what this is? Oh, that explains so much. I didn't know.
Also,
I didn't know.
I'm just thinking to Garfield and friends. Were all the British animals maybe like a British version of U.S. Acres? Is that like a deeper cut than we think?
Maybe.
I feel like it was. Maybe. Like, it kind of close.
I'm reaching here, guys.
So, how did Bill Murray get into this film? We didn't talk about that because we were going to say...
yes, please.
Yes. Yeah, okay. Yeah. So, Urchin was asking, you were like, wasn't there some weird way that Bill Murray got hooked into this franchise? And there was. Although, I think that this is more Bill Murray making it an excuse for picking up a paycheck, since he did the sequel. And I don't think he had to do the sequel.
Might have been in the contract.
Probably. Do you think that they actually assumed that they would make a Garfield 2 and already have it in the contract?
They could have.
Yeah. I 100% believe that would be the case.
He would have done this if he was contractually obligated. Yes.
Maybe. But anyways, so the whole thing is This movie is written by Alec Sokolow and Joel Cohen.
Yes.
Oh.
So,
I remember
Bill
now.
Murray read the name as Joel Cohen and
Mhm.
thought that it was Ethan and Joel Cohen, but it's not. It's actually, like, they thought it was the Joel Cohen of the Cohen brothers. So he
Yeah.
thought, like, wow, there's actually somebody decent writing this. Maybe it'll actually be good. That's his excuse. And so he signed on without having read the script, seeing Joel Cohen.
Yep.
You know,
It's not that Joel Cohen. It is
I
not
rewatched
that Joel
Miller's.
Cohen.
I rewatched Miller's Crossing the other day. That's a good movie. We should have watched that.
Yeah, you know what? There is a large list of things we could have watched outside of Garfield 2. But here we are. Yeah, this is our life. We watched Garfield 2. Great.
For the dog movie podcast, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Speaking of dogs, why don't we just talk about dogs?
Let's just talk about the dogs. That sounds way better.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's there was some interesting dogs in this movie, like Rommel. Where do we want to meet Rommel? Hey, hey everybody, who's your favorite Nazi character? Who did you like the most?
To be fair, the dog did not name himself.
No.
The dog did not name himself Rommel. The dog himself seemed fine.
Yeah,
that's fair.
I'd rate
Don't
that
blame
dog
the dog for the sins
as
of the
biting
Go ahead.
Billy Connolly's dick out of 10.
biting Billy Connolly as John Cleese in the dick.
As John Cleese's dick, yes.
Billy Connolly as John Cleese as
Rob Schneider in No.
Oh God, you cannot end up in the Schneiderverse.
You know, I'm actually kind of surprised Rob Schneider was never in this at any point. I mean, we had British Kevin James. Where was British Rob Schneider?
Yeah.
That's fair. This one kind of has like a whole bunch of parallels if you think about it to our last film. They both have all-star ensemble casts.
Yes,
of well-known comedians. You know, it's
you say well-known.
Chevy
I would say
Chase, Tom Arnold, and Rob Schneider, totally on the same level as Billy Connolly.
You say well-known. I say infamous.
Yeah, that's true.
I can't even finish.
I mean, yeah, okay.
If you told me like 20 years ago that, hey, there's a film with Bill Murray, Tim Curry, and Billy Connolly in it, it's like, fuck yeah, sign me up.
This is why I said if we got like Christopher Lloyd in it, I would think like, hell, fuck, this movie's gonna be great. This movie is not great. This movie is... So this movie is the worst of all worlds, right? Because the thing is that it's... The reason why we haven't talked about it, to get serious for a moment, this will play well to our comedy podcast, but to get serious for a moment, this movie is bad in a very particular way that makes it unenjoyable, and that it is...
boring.
Thank you. Yeah, it doesn't take any risks with the material at all. It doesn't do anything interesting. Nothing happens. It is... If you were to sit down and write out what you think the plot is without us having discussed it yet, beyond like the very bare minimal things that we've done, you would probably flesh it out more than the writers did.
Yes, easily.
Like, it is exactly what you think it is. It is just vapid scene after scene of like bad slapstick of John Cleese, Billy Connolly getting, bit in the dick, have a ferret run up his trousers.
Well, there's a ferret in the film. It has to go up someone's trousers. That is
there
movie law.
There was the mallard that was in full plate armor, though.
Yes, there were multiple ducks in full plate armor.
There were in fact 2 full armored ducks that fucking tripped.
No, hold on. It's not armored ducks. It's ducks in human size.
In human armor. That is an important distinction.
Yeah, okay, that is very fair. I was not explicit enough in what I'm saying. Yeah. In full human knight sets of armor that tripped him, beat him with a shield, and then started chopping him up with an axe. They just went to town on that man.
That last part may or may not have happened.
I can't believe they rigged it. How did they get the wires and everything? It's fine.
Ducks in England. Smart animals. Have
I've
you never
heard-
seen?
I've heard that geese can break your arm, but this is a bit ridiculous.
Yeah, I was gonna say, have you never seen the Goose Game?
I've seen that game. Yeah.
I mean,
the game's
you can do
enjoyable.
a lot of
It's swans. I'm sorry, it's swans. People say break your
Yeah.
arm. My bad.
Yes,
Well, we
swans
didn't
are
finish rating
badass.
the dogs. Let's go back to Winston, the bulldog. Winston
Yes.
is actually enjoyable. I like Winston.
Yeah, Winston was a good dog.
Yeah.
I like Winston. Winston is your very quintessential British bulldog. We've talked about them a few times, but
Yeah.
Required by law to be named Winston or Churchill.
Yes,
one of the two.
this dog.
Correct.
If they named this dog anything other than Winston, the owners would be taken out and shot.
I think in the UK you have to legally name one of your children Winston.
Pretty sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Fairly certain.
And Winston's a good boy, a posh, proper bulldog, who also has secret passages into underground castle dungeons.
Well, listen, the British royalty gets up to some fucked shit.
Yeah,
Yes.
I would rate that dog like a solid 10 out of 10.
Yeah, good dog.
I'd give that a 13
Not-
out. I really liked that. I really liked Winston. Winston is fucking stupid, though. Can I just bring that up for a moment?
Yes, please do.
There's a plot point where, like, okay, so the animals can all talk to each other, and the humans
Except
can't
for Odie.
understand them, which actually took me about 45 minutes to get, because it was not clear for a very long time.
Only the British animals. We have to
And Garfield.
And Garfield, yeah.
Odie
not
doesn't
Odie.
talk, but everything else.
Yeah, Odie
And
not being able to talk to anyone is that's the confusing part. It's like, why?
Anyway, so I mean that does pair with everything
Yeah.
in Garfield and Friends and stuff, though. Like
That's true. I was thinking about that.
That does actually match up. Any case, so you have Bill Murray and Tim Curry doing the most like British Tim Curry voice possible. It's just absolutely ridiculous. It's incredible. And upon hearing Garfield for the first time, he goes, "Oh, sire," and you're like, "What the fuck are you on about?" Because he thinks they're the same, and it takes a while for him to figure it out, which is...
And then later on, he acts like he knew all along.
Yeah, they kind of do double back on that one, because they realize how bad it was.
This movie is written very stupidly. We do have another dog, though, which is Odie. Odie is an extremely good boy that gets unfairly bullied by Garfield.
I'd rate him over
constantly.
Winston myself.
Yeah, I would rate Odie a nice solid 13.5 out of 10.
Yeah, I was going to say, listen, I said that I really liked Winston, and I do really like Winston, but I do like a dog that just shuts its fucking mouth and isn't animated with that horrible, like, moving mouth thing that we love on this podcast.
It wasn't the worst moving mouth I've ever seen in...
No.
It was competently done. Like, the special effects work was all fairly competently done in this film. Can't take anything away from those crews.
No, I was going to say, like, you even pointed out when they threw Garfield into the back of a car at one point, the leather depressed when they threw it in. So, like, it was very... The CG and, like, matched what the cat would have landed on. Like, they did a decent job with the CG, I feel. Like... Honestly, I'd say beyond decent. They did a really good job. When you think of this as 2006, the CG in this film is really, really competent. It's just for this.
They did way too good of a job for this. Like, I would have preferred if it was terrible and would have given us more to talk about.
Like, again, that's the problem with everything in this movie, is that this is one of those situations where this movie either needed to be, the rule is, like, 80% better or 30% worse.
Yeah.
It needed to be one of the other.
This movie should have just been multiple versions of the Twitter account comic strip where they just take two scenes from Garfield and then always end with throwing Garfield out a window.
Yep. Although, the other thing that would have saved it is just putting Patrick Warburton in there, honestly.
That's true.
Yeah, to give an idea, if you are an avid listener of the podcast, Urchin, our friend, was last on for Underdog, and I remember that when we first ended the movie, your first words out of your mouth were, "God, I wish that we were still watching Underdog."
Which has never been uttered before in the history of human speech.
I still remember that before that, you had said, like, previously, when we watched Underdog, you were like, God, I don't think that I'm your friends anymore. So, give an idea of where this is.
Yeah. At least it had Patrick Warburton. This film cannot say that it had Patrick Warburton.
Okay,
which is depressing because it had Bill Murray.
I just found out something incredibly fucking disturbing about this movie that I didn't realize.
Okay.
Oh.
Well, I was looking at how many like really, really good actors are actually in this movie, and I somehow missed Bob Hoskins was in it?
Bob Hoskins was in this movie somewhere.
Bob Hoskins is Winston. He's the English Bulldog.
Oh.
What
Wait,
the
he
hell?
did that voice? Okay, I didn't know that.
Okay, fair enough.
Wow.
I can't believe they got Mario to be Winston. That ups Winston's point value. Wait, I have to up Winston to an 11. That's way better.
Hold up. I've also totally recontextualized this movie. All of Bill Murray's line reads make way more sense. We thought he was drunk, but he was out smoking weed with Bob
Hoskins in his mansion.
That's where the drug use comes in. Oh, it makes sense now.
It makes perfect sense. Bob Hoskins involved. Of course they're fucking smoking a doobie.
Yeah, okay, now it makes sense.
By the way, Bob Hoskins fucking rules.
Yes, he did.
And for the people that don't know, as a quick deep cut, what that is referencing is the fact that everybody thought that Bob Hoskins was a stuck-up prick on the film set of the Super Mario Brothers. And then one day they were all like smoking weed outside, and he walked by and he goes, "Wait, you're always smoking weed out here? I've been having to go back to my mansion and smoke weed alone. Why aren't you there?" And he invited them all over.
Why didn't you say something? I've been smoking weed in my mansion. Come on.
Jesus Christ, I'm like 2 blocks down. I've been stuck. I've been feeling like I'm all alone. Nobody wants to talk to me. All I want to do is fucking smoke up.
God, I rewatched Who Framed Roger Rabbit just like last week, and this information, I don't know, makes me a little sad. Just going from that to this.
Look, as is tradition, the only thing that can ever happen with Garfield is complete and utter disappointment and depression because you have interacted with Garfield in some way throughout your day. Yes, that is the standard Garfield reaction. And to be fair, this movie definitely met those criteria. So, yeah.
I'm just so incredibly disappointed at how incredible the voice cast and stuff is for this movie. Like, it has Vinnie Jones, too. Oh, my God.
Wait, who's Vinnie Jones in this?
Rommel.
Okay, I figured that was probably going to be the case.
Yeah, of course he's Rommel. So for people, that's Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels and Snatch and...
Midnight Meat
He
Train.
played, "I'm the Juggernaut, bitch!"
Yeah.
Look, everyone remembers his classic turn in the Midnight Meat Train.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes, exactly. Or in Mean Machine in 2001.
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
I think we're out of things to talk about, to be honest. I don't have anything else.
I know.
to
I'm just angry because like even the small time actors and actresses in this are all people that I normally know and love, and this movie has really ruined a lot of people for me.
Yeah.
A lot of people collected some paychecks. That's what it comes down to. Which is, in the end, you got to pay the bills somehow. It's just...
How else are we going to have British royalty living the high life if we aren't paying for Garfield, A Tale of Two Kitties?
I was about to say, do you think they request their checks like have something else listed in the for section for this film?
Mm-hmm.
Instead of,
I'm honestly
like
the part that's surprising to me is that I can actually find all of these actors and actresses listed, because I feel like a lot of them would have been like, no, I don't need credit.
No. Remove my name, actually. That'd be great. Thanks.
Because I would not have known Bob Hoskins was Winston. He didn't need to do that.
It could have been like when that guy from Frasier was in the Hellboy sequel, and or was it the sequel or was it both of them? And he refused to be credited for his role because he wanted the actor in the suit to have it.
Yes.
But the other way where it's just out of shame.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you've ever been sitting alone in your room, completely filled with shame, just can't get out of bed, you probably watched Garfield 2 beforehand.
You're probably eating a Garfield. You're probably eating a Garfield-sized pizza, and a Garfield head pizza, with your Garfield Sona poster in the corner.
Yeah.
You know, just sitting there watching Garfield wanna fuck John as he proposes.
Yeah. Well,
what a movie.
If you need to get a hold of us, we're all going to be on the brand new 2021 Garfield cruise.
I'm going to be, every night I'm going to have me a Garnivore pizza.
Garnivore pizza. Great. Yeah, can't wait.
Oh, did we ever find out if they had a lasagna pizza?
They have lasagna, but it's only frozen. They don't have lasagna
disappointing.
pizza. Yeah. Well,
gotta make that fresh with the help.
Disappointment is literally the Garfield experience. So, well, see you next time, everyone.
Yeah, just episode just kind of peters out with a whimper.
We're done.
Like, what do you
done.
do?
I got nothing.
This movie petered out with a whimper 20 minutes in. It makes sense.
Yeah. Next time, can you guys get me on for something like truly abysmal, so I can actually enjoy my life?
Sure.
Would you like Howling 4?
I love the Howling movies. Oh, hold on a moment.
Oh, you know them. That's not okay. Okay, we gotta find
Hold
something
on.
we don't know.
Hold on. No. What y'all need to do is Howling 7. I think it's 7. The one that was filmed for like $10, and most of the film is line dancing.
Oh my god.
Howling 7, New Moon Rising. Yep.
Great.
Yep. Oh, it's spectacularly. It's one of the most confusing films I've ever seen.
Huh. Are we done recording? Are we still recording? I don't understand.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm out of here.
I'm out.
Were you looking for the post-credit sequence?
There isn't one? Okay.
Yeah, I gotta find like the greater cinematic comic cat universe.
It has to.
We tie into
somehow-
Heathcliff.
Yeah, it ties into Heathcliff and Marmaduke. I know for sure.
Oh god.
the syndication, cinematic universe. And then afterwards, we'll watch the Kathy movie.
And I was gonna say we'll get Doonesbury to come in and do.
Well, the Kathy movie is just Sex in the City, isn't it?
It's Sex in the City, but way less racist.
I don't know. If they tried to turn Kathy into film, they might just make it racist as shit.
Yeah.
Let's be honest here.